episode of What's on My Mind. My name is Thomas for What's on My Mind, and if you can already tell, this is going to be a different video. There's a lot going on right now. I'm going to try and be optimistic for this, but it's really hard. Really, really hard. Sorry about that. I don't know what else I can say. There are people that are actively trying to dismantle American democracy as we speak. And yes, originally I was intending to have this channel just be about things that I wanted to talk about. Like shows I was interested in, or movies, or games, or my hobbies, or why I dress the way I do, or really anything besides politics. But then November 2024 happened, and I went from being partially caring about politics to caring about politics so much that it was affecting how I interacted with people. I'm not going to say that it's been easy to be a child of this world, of a world that has been scarred by a once-in-a-century pandemic that still people refuse to believe in the science behind. That we have masked, armed individuals running around our cities, shooting people in the face. That we have so many things that are going on, so many things that are going wrong, and yet the sheer act of empathy and the sheer act of humanity itself has been polarized to where if you believe that humans should have a right to live on the planet, you get labeled a woke liberal or radical left. You know what? Emotion shouldn't be politicized. Good common sense shouldn't be politicized. Religion shouldn't be politicized. This nation was not founded as a Christian nation. It was founded by Christian men, yes, but those founders were very smart. They knew what they were doing when they wanted separation of church and state. Because without separation of church and state, you get what's known as a theocracy. Now, for those of you who are watching this that disagree with what I'm saying, you are well within your right to disagree with me. In fact, I welcome it. I welcome open debate. But do one thing for me. Don't name call. It's degrading. It's degrading. I know we do it to you a lot. But that's because we find name calling, and I will use a technical term, incredibly stupid. We find the concept that anything could happen like this in the United States completely inconceivable. Yet here we are. We are watching in real time as the government tries to dismantle itself. We are watching a repeat of the run-up to World War II. If you want to stop watching now, you're well within your right. I do not care. If you don't watch this video at all because of the title, I don't care. But do one thing for me. And this is mainly for the people that support this, that support all of this nonsense going on. What are you going to do when it becomes your friend? What are you going to do when it becomes your family member? What are you going to do when it becomes your kid? Think about that. Now, I'm not going to rant and rave as I've done in my previous videos. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to say one thing right now. This isn't about left and right anymore. It's not. It's not about Antifa versus MAGA. Antifa isn't an organization. It's just a group of people that don't like fascism. And by outlining it, that says a lot of interesting things about you. If you believe that the 2020 election was stolen from you, well, then you just don't know how elections work. You're not going to win every single election. If you win every single election, that's what happens in Russia or North Korea. We're not Russia or North Korea. We're the United States of America. We have this year we will have a 250-year-old democracy founded on the principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Reading from the book of the Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be witness against himself, nor deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. why I said that. I just thought I would, to highlight what this country was founded on. We the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare for ourselves and our posterity, do ordain, establish this Constitution of the United States of America. If you agree with what I just said, thank you. If you don't, you don't. If you disagree with, if you think that the ICE agents in Minneapolis are acting lawfully, I'll tell you right now, they're not. Shooting somebody in the face without a reason, that's not self-defense. That is murder. That is second-degree homicide, which in the state of Minnesota carries a life sentence in federal prison. In most states. In some states, it carries a death penalty. I'm not threatening. I'm merely saying the truth. And the truth of the matter is, if you say that your bigotry is Christianity, you are not a Christian. You are just a bigot. The Bible says absolutely nothing about transgender people or gay people. In fact, it was mistranslated. The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, section 22. If a man lies with a boy as with a woman, he has committed an abomination and shall be put to death. Not a man, a boy. It was mistranslated. Because the people back then who mistranslated it were homophobic. And indeed, much of the early church wasn't homophobic. King James was, who created the King James Version of the Bible. But in fact, women at the time had lots of places in the early church. In fact, at the time, on this continent, not in the Middle East, there were such individuals who were two-spirit, who identified both as male and female, and they were celebrated by the native cultures of this land. And they had been for time immemorial until the Europeans arrived and forced them off their land. First they came for the communists, but I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the labor organizers, and I did not speak out because I was not a labor organizer. And then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for political opponents. I did not speak out because I was not one of their political opponents. Then they came for me. And by the time they were done, there was no one left to speak up for me. That is gross oversimplification, but you get the idea. I don't want to come across as someone who is talking at you. I don't want to come across as someone who dresses all fancy and speaks at you and looks you in the eyes and says, "This is bad." I want to be a person who just says this is bad. Because it is. That shouldn't be a disagreement we're having. Yet it is. There shouldn't be a disagreement over what people can say in the United States. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free is no longer applicable in the United States under the Trump administration. This is one of my favorite poems. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs stride from land to land. Here, at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome, her mild eyes command. The air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame, keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cries she, with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, your homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Emma Lazarus, the new Colossus. Now, I'm going to say this really clear. We are all immigrants. Everybody in the United States, with the exception of the indigenous peoples who live here, are immigrants. This country was built by immigrants. This country is inhabited by immigrants. Yet they're not getting deported because they look like me. They're getting deported because they're black or brown or don't speak English very well or speak Arabic or speak another language that isn't English. They're getting deported because they don't have proper papers or because the person who deports them believes that they are part of Tren de Aragua. Which, if you make a law stating that all members believe, that all persons believed to be part of Tren de Aragua should be deported, then you're a racist. And if you agree with that law, you're also a racist. Now, I don't know what else to say because this is really hard for me to watch and see that my future and the future of my friends and my family could be vastly different from how I imagined it would be 2-ish years ago. I thought we were going to have a nice, calm 4 years. The first female president. But we ended up getting bamboozled by a pedophile, rapist, con artist, multi-charge convicted felon and an international criminal who used law enforcement to invade another country and kidnap its leader for drugs for some reason. Even though more fentanyl is made in the U.S. than it is in Venezuela. Think about it. Use your critical thinking skills, please. What in the world happened to critical thinking? For those of you that watch Fox News, who are watching this video right now, even though it wasn't recommended by the YouTube algorithm, you are being lied to. A lot. You are being lied to in the same sense that If I say that I am purple, I am lying to you. Or if I say that I am, I don't know, doing my homework right now instead of making a YouTube video, I'm lying to you. If I say that I'm not on my phone right now, even though I'm making this video, I'm lying to you. That is the exact same thing. Fox News is not a news source. It is a source of lies. It is a source of political propaganda that's been manufactured by the MAGA movement to turn as many people into the servants of MAGA, trying to control the narrative. Same thing with OAN. Same thing with Truth Social. It's so bad we don't even know what to believe anymore. We don't even know why we don't even know why we're here. Doublethink means the power of holding two contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. Now I will tell you the answer to my question. It is this. The party seeks power entirely for its own sake. We are not interested in the goods of others. We are interested solely in power, pure power. What pure power means, you will understand presently. We are different from the oligarchies of the past in that we know what we are doing. All the others, even those who resemble ourselves, were cowards and hypocrites. The German Nazis and the Russian communists came very close to us in their methods, but they never had the courage to recognize their own motives. They pretended, perhaps they even believed, that they had seized power unwillingly and for a limited time, and that just around the corner there lay a paradise where human beings would be free and equal. We are not like that. You know that no one ever seizes power with the intention of relinquishing it. Power is not a means, it is an end. One does not establish a dictatorship in order to safeguard a revolution. One makes the revolution in order to establish the dictatorship. The object of persecution is persecution. The object of torture is torture. The object of power is power. Now you begin to understand me. George Orwell. Power is in tearing human minds to pieces and putting them together, again, in new shapes of your own choosing. Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 makes 4. If that is granted, all else follows. The choice for mankind lies between freedom and happiness, and for the great bulk of mankind, happiness is better. Every record has been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed, every date has been altered, and the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except endless present in which the party is always right. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was the final, their final, most essential command. If you understand what I'm doing, I'm quoting 1984. If you see that it somehow looks almost exactly like what's happening in the United States right now, you're not wrong, because it is what's happening in the United States right now. We are living in 1984, quite literally. We've gone back in time to where there are individuals who can't speak freely, and there are individuals who are unable to contribute to a conversation with someone they disagree with because of a fear that they will be repressed or they will be suppressed or oppressed. Repression of thought, repression of action, repression of ideas and freedom. That's fascism. Thank you so much for watching.